Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I posted a video about me actually speaking, but here I am. But just a quick notice before we hop on right into the video. The first thing that I want to point out is that I won't jump right into how Nori's actions resemble a fallen angel, but a story that will say why and how she changed. For a very simple explanation of what a fallen angel is, I'll say right now, but close to the mid-end, I'll really dig as deep as I can. But for now, a basic thing to know about fallen angels are that they are angels casted out from heaven due to various reasons. One of these reasons being that they have sinned. Fallen angels were once spiritual beings, but have now rebelled against God. Fallen angels have extraordinary abilities, like shapeshifting, flying, and wielding a man's power. Fallen angels have been mentioned in the Bible, the Quran, and even the Torah. But the only fallen angels that have been mentioned in the Torah is Lucifer. Fallen angels, though, were mostly acknowledged in the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch was written before the birth of Christ and have been accepted in many churches. The Book of Enoch mentions about fallen angels, resurrection, demonology, the punishment of the wicked, and the blessedness of the righteous. It even talks about the Last Judgment. I've heard some theories about the story of murder drones following some of the aspects about the Last Judgment and the Apocalypse of St. John. From how Murder Drones is written, if you look very deeply into the story, those theories mentioned right now aren't necessarily incorrect. But just a disclaimer, I myself aren't Christian, and in fact, I'm Muslim. But one thing's for sure, I've always enjoyed the stories that are mentioned throughout the Christian religion. And the meanings of each story are so deep and captivating that I myself honestly can't help but love these stories. Even though in Islam, it's told to not really believe in other religions. But honestly, ever since I was younger until now, I just love each religion existing and what each prophet connected to the divine wanted to teach us all. And in fact, the first prophet that I've ever learned and knew information about, and the first one I knew who existed, was actually Christ himself. After then, I realized that there were other prophets as well, like Hazrat Muhammad, Hazrat Ali, and so many other more. But if I say anything about Lucifer or the fallen angels with incorrect information, please forgive me, because I want this video to be truthful and precise. I don't want it to be inaccurate or precise, though I hope you enjoy this video either way. Now we'll head on to the story. The story is about Nori and how much she has changed because of pride. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Nori. As a kid, she would go to a summer camp with her sister Yeva. The place was named Camp 98.7. Here in the camp, there were tons of fun activities, like canoeing, hiking, bow and arrow, and last but not least, scary stories at the campfire. The camp was settled in a beautiful place, the place being surrounded with tall pine trees and small ponds. The weather, as usual, is cool and the sun is shining outside. Honestly, the weather couldn't get any better. Nori made friends with a girl like her, a girl which shared the same energy as her. The girl, Alice, would hang out most of the time with Nori and Yeva, all having their pretty awesome friend group. There weren't many kids at camp, so the trio just existing made it a miracle. The weird thing about Camp 98.7 though, is that instead of the worker drones running it, everything was held under the control of the humans. The humans which worked for the J.C. Jensen Company. The company being the one who created all the worker drones. When the worker drones came of age, the humans would take them to an important meeting. A meeting which has said to be life-changing. An experience for worker drones which has said, as a theory, that a miracle has entered their life. However, most of the time, the worker drone campers, which used to come here at camp, suddenly disappeared after going to the meeting with the humans. The humans told everyone that they went back home or that they got a proper job which actually has good income. But nobody who's at Camp 98.7 truly knows what the job is or why the worker drones disappeared. If anyone was curious enough to investigate, they would be in deep trouble and get caught red-handed. There were even worker drone guards and hunters all under the control of the J.C. Jensen Company. Most of them were strict and rough towards the worker drone campers, and some even harassed campers. But there was one specific hunter who wasn't bad. He just pushed himself to be serious about his job. He could get mad very easily, but won't hesitate to aim his gun at you. His name was Doorman. Khan Doorman. Many of you may ask, why Khan? He's not rebellious, and he's definitely not a hunter. Well, this is just a theory, but in one of Glitch Productions' videos, aka the Murder Drones Season 1 teaser, which by the way I think was posted 2 years ago, throughout that very video, Liam Vickers showed us the concept art for N, V, J, Uzi, Lizzie, Doll, Thad, and even one character which no one expected him or him to expose, Khan Doorman. He showed us his concept art for Khan. Now, it may sound dull and boring, but it really isn't, because in Khan's concept art, he is portrayed very differently than he is throughout the Murder Drone series. In the concept art, Khan is holding his very own gun. Not only that, but he seems to have his very own scar as well. And if you paid full attention, you would know that the scar that's on his face was from a disassembly drone. We see this because in episode 4, Cabin Fever, V scratches Uzi's screen with her own claw. This is the same scar that Khan has. Now, back to Nori and her trio. Alice and Nori were mostly the extroverted ones. They were playful and were the ones who would plan the mischievous pranks on the J.C. Jensen employees who applied themselves to work here at the camp. Yeva, on the other hand, though, was the complete opposite of Nori. Although not as confident or extroverted like she was, Yeva was the most wise and responsible out of the three. When all three of them came of age, all now in their 18s to early 20s, they were all sent to separate meetings with the humans. The humans warned the three of them that a new program will be taking over them without their control. The humans told them that the program is very dangerous, and if they start to attain it within them, it can harm mankind. So, by preventing this program taking over, the J.C. Jensen workers created an underground facility. The facility is called the Cabin Fever Labs. Throughout the lab, the humans would take the worker drone campers, change their outfits, and prepare a surgical procedure for them. In the surgical procedure, the humans would take tons of tests and stick some specialized syringe needles onto the drones to release this antibiotic formula onto their worker drone operating system. This antibiotic, to be fair, should be called more of a vaccination of an antivirus. This antivirus was to prevent the absolute solver from both spreading and activating within the worker drone. It was said by the humans that it will protect the operating system of a worker drone, and its hardware included. But as you can tell by the pictures and footages, which is shown by Tessa from her computer in episode 6 of Murder Drones, it shows that it did the complete opposite of what the humans wanted. The Absolute Solver was capable enough to destroy a whole planet. Might as well say the universe is next up for its destruction. But not only did the Absolute Solver destroy Earth, but it spread to different planets, infecting other worker drones in which we haven't been introduced of either. Maybe these are the same drones that Tessa had said to be in the list she mentioned earlier in episode 6. I hope that if there is a season 2, that they will actually show us these new worker drones. Now, back to the trio again. Nori and Yeva were the first ones to be put into this surgical procedure. At the beginning, after the surgical procedure, nothing really out of the blue actually happened. A week passed by, and that's when the symptoms for having the Absolute Solver started kicking in. Well, at least for Nori, the symptoms were tampering with her system, but for Yeva, she actually started gaining these unusual telekinetic powers. For Nori, she would mostly see her left eye eye glitching into the absolute solver symbol whenever she looked at the mirror, but the mirror would just end up shattering, multiplying the broken pieces. The absolute solver would also appear in her left eye whenever she spoke about murder and revenge, like it's something casual which should be disregarded about. Time has passed by for a while now. Yeva had actually gotten pretty good with controlling and being mindful about her powers. Nori, on the other hand, though, has gotten her powers finally, but with having such a huge program now a part of her, she forgot that with great power comes with great responsibility. She took all of this for granted. Yeva kept warning her that the absolute solver is a dangerous piece that is now a part of her life forever, and there's nothing she could really do about it to stop. The more Nori used her powers, the more selfish she became, and the more she saw herself superior than others around her. In Murder Drones Episode 6 Home, Tessa shows a picture of Nori, Yeva, Alice, and some JC Jensen employees on her computer. Yeva seems unconfident and also hurt because of the absolute solver starting to kick in. Nori, though, on the other hand, seems smug, not caring about Yeva, who's hurt, nor the fact that she even killed Alice. It's like Nori has been so stuck and focused on her new powers, it's like she couldn't really care less about Alice. And what's so sad about all of this is that Alice is Nori's childhood friend.
Dealt with witches for too. Though, ain't seen 02 since she left us to die.
Nori also seems to be explaining the absolute solver program to the JC Jensen workers as they analyze what's going on with them. It's like ever since Nori's been so lost with having so much with her, it's like she completely forgot how to love and care for others. At the beginning, it seemed that she got flashbacks about the solver and the singularity and basically everything, so she drew them down, as it's shown in episode 4 of Murder Drones. She was convinced that the solver is dangerous. However, once she actually started getting these bizarre powers, it's like she couldn't stop herself from using it. If you make yourself stronger than your mind, basically your ego, conditioning, repressing thoughts, and thoughts that can lead you to depression, anxiety, and all sorts of mental illnesses, nothing will possess you. Not even your thoughts can possess you. You won't get led into taking wrong paths in life because you have a strong understanding of morality. You're easily able to distinguish between what's wrong and what's right. If you're overthinking, you can leave your thoughts aside. If there's a strong sense of being superior to everyone else, you don't have to worry about that anymore, because you made yourself stronger than these illusions roaming around your head. Nori, though, on the other hand, dug way too deep into these illusions, making her a cute puppet for the absolute solver to play and control with easily. As I have mentioned, Nori being too prideful and her original personality falling off, one can actually see the similarity about what both Lucifer and Nori went through. Now, before I jump right into Lucifer, I'll discuss more about power. Most people at the beginning say that the strength the absolute solver has is amazing and could even help the world. Many people may find the power of telekinesis amazing, which is honestly great and I can't disagree with you. But remember, there are many solver forms, and the absolute solver has more powers than just telekinesis. There's the normal symbol, which we see the most occur throughout the series. It appears when the characters levitate objects. There's the rotating solver form, which is obviously for rotating objects. We see here in episode 4, Cabin Fever, Uzi rotating the floor to see what's hiding under the laminate. Next up, we have the destroy solver form. We see Doll use the solver form for killing the worker drones at the shindig in Murder Drones Episode 3, The Promenade, which is shown to be a really effective method to murder the worker drones. The last solver form we have is the edit solver form. We see Doll use this to change the fan into a much more larger and sharper one. In episode 4, Uzi uses the edit solver form to repair the broken Robo-Roach. Now imagine this, if us humans would have all of these forms of the solver. It could be great, but also remember how terrible it would be if someone had the power to break the laws of physics, and all that strength being thrown into the wrong hands. Picture this, I inherited the solver form, right? Well, for example, I don't have that much money. I could easily, with the help of my first 3 fingers, make tons and tons of money. I can literally make millions, more than what the governments can own. Check this out. For example, I have a $5 bill. I could easily change the $5 bill to a $20 bill by using the edit solver form. Now, I can either duplicate the amount of money or even change its worth. Now, imagine if everyone had the solver powers. Now, surely it can help the world become a better place for everyone to live in. We can stop poverty. We can even reduce climate change because of it. With these powers, it could even help reduce the amount of time which is put for constructing buildings and structures. We can easily levitate the objects and resources to arrange the pieces together. This could help with reconstructing buildings or machines to make them new and improved. Now, imagine the terrible things that would also happen. Illegal drugs would become even more accessible. There would be lots more weapons which could be used for various reasons. People would also harass each other more, and there would be endless wars with 10 times the amount of more destruction it already gives out. Because the absolute solver is so powerful, then all of these wars can become even worse. Everyone in this world is given with extraordinary talents and powers. But what's important is how will you use them to shape the future? Will you use it for the good of yourself and others, or use it to cause corruption? It's important not to get prideful or too prideful in one's achievements, because the results can turn out to be horrific. It's good to be confident, but don't become egoistic. Not only are Nori's actions resembling Lucifer himself, but even her character design. The wings of the solver drones are made up of dead organic matter, showing us that they're the prototype of the disassembly drones. Nori even rebelled against the humans because she saw herself higher than them. She thought she can handle everything by herself and wouldn't need the help from the humans. Traditionally, Lucifer have held to rebel against God in an attempt to become equal to God himself. It was once said that before Lucifer decided to do all of this, he was so glorious in the realm of the angels. But he became so lost in his ego, all his actions and thoughts kept resembling itself as arrogance. Lucifer desired to elevate himself above his creator and claim the position that rightfully belongs to God alone. Lucifer is now known as Satan, which in Hebrew means accuser. Satan is now a malicious being seeking to corrupt humanity, this making people choose sinful paths that are against what's right, producing a definition that, according to people, is called morality. In reality, though, the pathways that have been chosen are the pathways to hell because of people's immoral actions. Lucifer could have been so much more. Yes, he helped God in some occasions, but he could have helped God in so many other ways too. Before he turned prideful, he was known to be the most wisest angel God has ever created. The devil isn't just a silly red guy with 2 horns and a tail. He was once God's favorite creation. Lucifer was once so beautiful within and without that he was called the Morning Star. His name fit his actions. He was once Lucifer Morningstar. Well guys, that's it. If you enjoyed my video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to never miss out on any of my Murder Drone videos, fan-made trailers, theory videos, breakdown and review videos, plus a whole lot more. Thank you so much for watching my video and have a great day, guys.